Welcome to Algebra with Jennifer. Today we're going to take a look at solving quadratics by the square root method. If a quadratic equation can be written in the form x squared equals n, so just some number, then the quadratic can be solved using the square root property. And it says if x squared equals n, then x equals plus or minus, there's two solutions, a positive version and a negative version, of the square root of n. So in other words, I could say x equals the square root of n, x equals negative the square root of n. The steps to solve, step number one, is rewrite the equation as x squared equals whatever your number is. The second step is we're going to take the square root of both sides of the equal sign. And lastly, we simplify the radical. We add the plus or minus to indicate that there's the positive and the negative answer. Let's do a couple examples. Solve the quadratic by the square root method. Okay, so like it said in those steps above, we want to isolate this x squared before I take the square root of both sides. My first step would be to subtract the 3 from both sides of the equals. Those cancel, so I'm left with 2x squared on the left side and 72 on the right side. Now remember, I'm trying to get that x squared all by itself, so right now it's being multiplied by 2. To undo the multiplication, we use division, so I'll divide both sides. Those cancel, and I'm left with x squared equals 72 divided by 2, which is 36. Okay, so now the x squared is all by itself on the left side. My next step is to take the square root of both sides. The square root of a square, those basically cancel each other out. And I'm left with x equals the square root of 36. Well, 36 is a perfect square, right? That's 6 times 6. So this would come out to be plus or minus 6. And that would be my answer. Let's try the next one. A squared minus 18 equals 0. So remember, our objective is to get this by itself. I will do that by moving the 18 over first. Those cancel out. So on the left side, I'm left with a squared. And on the right side is 18. Next step, we're going to take the square root of both sides of the equals. The square root cancels out the square, so I have a equals. Now, I have plus or minus the square root of 18. 18 is not a perfect square, so I'm going to use the factor tree to simplify that down. So it'd be 2 times 9. 9 is a perfect square, right? 3 times 3. So the 3 comes out of the radical, and this 2 stays inside. And there's our answer. There's a couple examples of how to solve a quadratic equation using the square root method. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching.